I want to welcome you to the December 14th episode of Laid Back History's 2024 Advent Calendar, brought to you by the National Road Heritage Corridor. Let's see what we're looking at today. So we're talking about the S Bridge today. This stone bridge crosses over a branch of Buffalo Creek just outside of Taylorstown on the way from Washington to Claysville on the National Road. Now, this bridge, the construction began in 1815 and was completed in 1818. Number one question that I get about this bridge is, why an S? Why is it shaped like an S? Well, there's a good reason for that. You're going to find several of these bridges along the National Road. There were more of them built in Ohio, and in fact, I think there's still 4 of them that exist in Ohio, but we do have this one in Pennsylvania. S bridges were used where there were difficult crossings, where you wanted to cross over the stream or the river, the creek, at 90 degrees, but the road came at the creek at an angle, as it did here. So where you had creeks that were very windy, sometimes it was hard to cross at a 90 to have both sides of the road coming where it could cross perfectly at a 90. So what they would do is they would have a nice sloped raised portion coming up at an angle, the angle that the road came in, then it would cross over the creek directly at a 90-degree angle, and then you would have another, you could see in the distance here, it would come back and it would angle again to meet up with the road. So you would have a nice smooth transition from the road to a 90-degree crossing. Why did you need a 90-degree crossing? It basically was to help with erosion of the stone. If you had it coming in this way and the water was constantly hitting it, it was going to erode that stone. But if the embankments are here, the water crosses right under them and you don't have as much erosion. And so that was the reason for the S shape. And it makes it very distinctive now. You know, there was a practical purpose for it before, but now it's just a distinctive thing that people come and visit this bridge just because of the shape. In the early 1930s, with cars becoming more prevalent, the Department of Transportation decided to straighten the National Road, which is now Route 40. Cars did not have to have switchbacks going up the hill. You know, the hill over here heading towards McGuffey High School, there were several switchbacks that allowed horses and wagons and coaches to get up there without having to go straight up over the hill. But cars could do that. So they straightened the road. And when they did that, they discontinued use of this bridge and built a new bridge. So think about that. This bridge was used from 1818 all the way to the early 1930s. So it had started with horse and buggies all the way up to cars traveling over it. When they straightened it, they did cut off a small portion of the bridge, maybe about a quarter of it, of the ramp that came up from coming down the hill, that S ramp coming up. They did cut off a portion of it. But the bridge has been maintained, and in 1974, it was listed as a National Historic Landmark. And it's one of the neatest features, I think, of the National Road in Pennsylvania. One of the most iconic features of the National Road in Pennsylvania. So that's our story for today. We're talking about the S Bridge. I guess I'll see you tomorrow for an all-new episode of Laid Back History's 2024 Advent Calendar.